Welcome to episode 182 of In Touch with iOS, a podcast that talks about iPhone, iPad, Apple Watch, Apple TV, and related technologies. I am your host, Dave Ginsburg. My co-host, Warren Sklar, is here. How you doing, Warren?
I'm good. Just gearing up for the wave of in-laws. So
yeah, Christmas is upon us here. And those other voices you hear, returning guests, Mr. Brian DePardo. How you doing, Brian?
Very good, Dave. Thank you.
Good. And Holden DePardo as well. How you doing, Holden?
I'm doing fantastic. Thanks for having me here.
Well, thanks for being here. We got plenty to talk about. Lots of news, lots of stories. iOS 15.2 is out. We'll be talking about that and all kinds of other stuff here. So let's just jump right in and just talk about stuff here. First story here. This is in Gadget. Apple delays macOS universal control until spring of 2022. Oh, gosh. They previously said this was going to be available in the fall. Well, it didn't happen. This was way back at June of last year. This past year, WWDC, they showed it off. A great way to be able to control multiple Macs and iPads with a single mouse, keyboard, and trackpad. When it was released, when it released Mac OS Monterey in October, Apple said the feature and SharePlay would arrive later. Well, we got SharePlay, but we didn't get universal control. What is the problem? We obviously don't say what they're having issues with, but it's obviously pretty big for Apple to reduce this. Don't you think, Brian?
I do. And I think Apple needs to step away from these big monolithic updates every year and start just putting things out as they're ready. But, universal control is a great idea, and I want it. But there was a hack a couple of months ago where you could actually enable it, and I did. And I thought it worked great at first until I realized that it would keep my other Macs awake and their fans spinning. And the battery on them would be dead in an hour. So there's something wrong there.
Yeah.
Did not work well at all.
Yep. What do you think, Warren?
I mean, my first thought is I'm glad I made the right decision to trade in my iPad Pro for the Mini, because the whole reason I got the Pro when it first came out was for universal control. And then I went through betas and nothing and all that. And now I don't even care about it. So that kind of thing. I mean, I saw the hack. I didn't try it out. I could try it out on my Mini when it comes out, but that wouldn't make a lot of sense either. But it's just I think when they would have learned a lesson from, I guess, AirPower, not to actually talk about anything that really could not make it to production. And I don't know what could be. I mean, they I wouldn't say they mastered continuity, that's what they call it right now, right? So everything on your phone. Yeah. I mean, but it's pretty good. So I mean, if you could do that, you would think that this shouldn't be that much. It's basically just going to be the iPad detecting that the mouse, pointer is coming over and doing what it needs to do. But yeah, I mean, we'll see what it looks like when it comes out.
Okay, how do you think, Holden?
I really wanted this feature, so I'm upset to see it not show up yet. I'd love to kind of keep my iPad to the side of where I'm working and keep something on YouTube or a podcast with that playing, just to kind of have the background, and just being able to control all that with my mouse and keyboard on my Mac would have been really nice, but it'll come when it comes. I hope it's on an AirPower situation like Warren was saying. I was talking about this on Networked with another podcast that I'm on, and I brought up your story, Dad, actually, of what you were going through. And I wonder if they could resolve that, because it sounds like it wakes up devices because it thinks you're about to start doing.
Yeah, it kept them awake.
Control.
It was really strange.
I wonder if they could do something similar where, so think about when you're dragging a file from one app to another, and you have to kind of hover it over the other app for a second. There's that little bit of
spring-loaded folders kind of thing, or
there's that little bit of a waiting period to make sure your action's intentional, so it's not just activating different windows all over the place. Maybe have that kind of cadence to it, where you put your mouse to the side of the machine, then the gray bar kind of shows up there to kind of show that you're about to go into universal control, and then you can push through because it wakes up the other device. Then after that, there's a session open, and it doesn't have to. It can go back and forth freely at that point. And then when your device goes to sleep, it shuts down the session, something like that, maybe. So there's more of a user prompt to get it to activate on other devices as opposed to always being automatic. Well, I don't know. I don't know what the solution is, but I also don't know what the problem is. So
right.
It's hard to know what's happening.
Yeah, we'll see what happens here. That's all I can say. It's kind of a bummer. Next story, Mac rumors, Apple releases Swift Playgrounds 4 with support for trading apps on the iPad. Apple today released the Swift Playgrounds 4, an update to the Swift Playgrounds app that's been in the works for some time. The newest version of the app allows iPhone and iPad apps to be created directly on the iPad without the need of a Mac. This is huge. Includes also an App Store Connect integration for uploading finished apps to the App Store. There's an app preview feature that shows live updates. This is awesome. I can't believe it took them this long to do this. So, Holden, what do you think?
Yeah, this is huge. This seems like it's basically GarageBand to Xcode, where it's Logic and Final Cut of the Pro apps. Xcode's the Pro app. This is like the GarageBand equivalent, the kind of more casual. But I think the Swift Playgrounds to begin with is a great way to learn how to code, and then be able to kind of do those practices and play little games to learn Swift, and then go and make an app in the same Playground application. I think it's an awesome idea. I'm really excited about this. Anything to get coding easier and easier to do, I think, is an important step. And
absolutely,
I'm excited about it. Absolutely.
What do you think, Warren?
I got an email that I ignored that said something about it.
Okay,
that's as far as I went with it. It sounds exciting, but I'm not a coder, so it's not exciting for me.
I know Brian's interested in it though.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I think Holden's spot on. It's kind of like GarageBand to Xcode. So it seems to work pretty well. I mean, I haven't split any atoms with it or anything like that, but it works pretty well from what I've seen. So whether people will build it, build really hardcore iPad or iPhone apps with it, I don't know.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. That's for sure. Next story here, Mac rumors, Apple Arcade getting new Disney and Nickelodeon games. Apple Arcade has surpassed 200 games on the service since August, and new titles continue to be added every week. The latest is coming from Disney Melee Mania from Mighty Bear Games, which launched this Friday. So Disney Melee Mania is a battle arena game which players battle in 5-minute 3x3 matches to secure as many points as possible. Okay, I'm not much of a gamer here, but I guess this looks fun. And then Nickelodeon's got an Extreme Tennis. I guess, exciting. But Brian, you play many games you like? Do you think this is interesting at all?
I play no games. Well, maybe like Angry Birds or something, but I'm just not a gamer. Actually, Monument Valley is really the only game.
It's a very good game.
Yeah, it's great. That's the only one I really played on iOS.
Yeah. What do you think, Holden?
I don't do a lot of mobile games. There are a handful that I like, but I already have them. I like Threes a lot. Threes is a fantastic mobile game. It's also on Apple Arcade, but I already had it beforehand. It's nice to see the service grow, because I think it's a really good service, even though I don't necessarily use it that much. And I'm curious just how Apple Arcade's doing to begin with. I have no idea.
Yep, they continue to say it continues to grow, and they keep adding these titles. So that's what interests me to mention this for today. The AirPods are now going to be able to be updated by the Apple Store. This is in Mac rumors. Apple Store getting a tool for updating AirPods Pro to the latest firmware version, which is starting. It's going to start actually this week, because this is a week ago as we record this. The tool will allow technicians with access to Apple Services Toolkit 2 to download the latest firmware on the customer's AirPods Pro during repair appointments in certain scenarios, such as as if one of the customers' left or right AirPods Pro failed to update. So good to see Apple's doing this in the store, so you don't have to send it out, which they've done many times before. Holden, you've obviously had experience in the store. Do you think this is something good?
Yeah, I mean, I'm surprised there's just not something built into iPhones to do this. Is there a way to force a firmware update?
No,
I feel like that should just be built into the Bluetooth settings. Like, you go to your Bluetooth settings, you can control whether they automatically connect or whatever, and then push a firmware update. So I don't know. It's not bad, but it's odd, I think.
It's really strange.
A trick to it. I mean,
if
you leave something on and open and the case open, it might update. But Yeah, no, I think I'm surprised they didn't already have this when it came out, the AirPods, because you would think that's important. But B, I don't know if updating the firmware actually fixes. I mean, they never really say.
Yeah. So like, tell you what's the fixing.
Right. So like if you had dead AirPods, or if there's a problem with the AirPod, I don't know if the firmware update ever would just bring it back to life, like it does like on some other computers, that it might. But I don't know. We learned last week that the MagSafe adapter has firmware.
Yeah, I kept trying to get it to update and it never did. So
I think I was thinking about this the other day. I think they need to update the firmware on the 14-inch MagSafe adapter, so this way it's not as strong when people pull on it and it won't fall out. So they got to be able to control the magneticity of it.
Any thoughts, Brian?
I'm just waiting for AirPod OS to come out. So, that's the next one. They seem to, just give everything an operating
It's already
system.
out.
Yeah.
You probably just don't know that.
Quick story here. This is also Mac Rumors. SiriusXM Platinum VIP tier, which is new, is now going to include 12 months of free Apple Music. SiriusXM announced it. Actually, today, as we record this, customers who subscribe to a Platinum VIP plan can also get access to 12 months of Apple Music free with our subscriptions, and it includes both new and existing subscribers. Priced at $34.95.99 a month. Oh, that's a lot. The Platinum VIP will offer SiriusXM service in 2 vehicles with the Apple Music content. So that's the huge thing here. Another thing that Apple's doing to get their stuff out there, in this case, Apple Music, and on SiriusXM. So even more music that you can listen to. SiriusXM already has so many channels. I'm been a subscriber for quite a long time. Hold on, what do you think? This is, I think this is interesting.
So to me, this is really confusing. This is like saying if you rent 5 movies from Blockbuster in a month, you get Netflix for free for a year or something like that. It just feels like Apple Music kind of replaces Sirius, I think, for a lot of people. So I don't know. This is very strange.
The funny thing, too, is they own Pandora, and that's also incorporated into SiriusXM, which adds to that mix of craziness when it comes to the music here.
With your Spotify membership comes Apple Music.
I think everybody's giving away. I think you could fill up your car with gas and get free Apple Music for 3 months. Everybody and their mother is giving away free Apple Music for like 3 months, 6 months.
Buy something online from Best Buy and
yes,
you get a cart full of crap, including Apple Music. So.
There was once, I think you just actually had to go to Best Buy. Remember that you went to Best Buy and you got 3 months of Apple Music.
I think you just have to drive by.
I swear to God. No, you walked in, you talked to somebody, and like, okay, we'll give it to you. It was,
All the carriers have some sort of like Apple Music for 6 months or something like that. Kind of.
T-Mobile does,
yeah.
Dave and I both tried, but since we're in one bundle, we couldn't do it.
Yeah, I couldn't do it either.
It's like first world problems. I can't get the free service because
technically
I'm already getting it. Yes.
But you're still kind of getting it free anyway if it's added, So
we do get Netflix with them too. So we get Netflix.
Yeah, we get the Netflix for nearly free. We pay extra for HD.
Netflix and MLB TV is huge. They better do that again next year.
They should. The last story here, Apple shares Ted Lasso animated Christmas short. If anybody, you guys haven't seen this yet, it was yesterday as we record this, Apple today shared a Christmas-themed Ted Lasso short featuring the animated versions of the popular characters like Roy Kent and Rebecca and Leslie and Jamie Tart, Keeley, and Ted Lasso himself. It is voiced by all the stars, and it's almost made me feel like it was Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer all over again here. And Ted is missing his mustache, and it had to come back. So you'll have to see that. What do you guys think?
I did watch it.
I did too.
What's Ted Lasso?
It's some show.
I haven't watched it, no.
It's a Roy Kent show.
I was watching Santa Claus 2 before I got dragged into
you need to go catch up on Ted Lasso because you're missing a lot. Because
I haven't even seen season 2 yet.
Oh,
you saw season 1 at least.
Yeah,
I saw season 1.
Brian, you had 20 years to watch the Santa Claus 2.
Yeah.
I watch it every year, Warren. Every year, multiple times.
All right. Anyway, Roy Kent is very funny in it.
Yes.
He pulls off his eyebrows and they pop right back on. So yeah. That was cute.
That's great. Spoiler.
So check that out. And let's go ahead and move on to the topics this week. Warren is going through beta withdrawal, kind of, at least on iOS side. He's got Monterey, just got released today. But iOS 15.2 was released to the public, to everybody. Yeah, I think it's got some great new features that we had been talking about over the beta period here. What's your first impressions, guys? I'll go start with you. Holden, have you installed it, I assume? And
yeah, I've installed it. It's iOS 15. I'm not going to use the voice plan. I don't really use the macro camera too much on my 13 yet. I haven't got a chance to really use it. So I don't know. There's not that much there for me that I've noticed. I've just noticed the lack of universal control in iPad OS 15, I guess. But yeah, I don't have really much to say on it.
Yeah. Warren, you've been beta testing this the whole time. Anything that's surprising to you that
it was very uncomfortably sad when I went to the beta page yesterday and it said it was blank.
I always know you get depressed. I went and signed into my developer account just for that reason.
You go there and you're like,
I bet he's sad.
There's there's no, when it gives you a message, there's no betas available. So, yeah. I mean, I've said this before, but generally I take this time to reinstall the operating systems on my iPad and phone, or at least just sometimes it's connected to iTunes, connected to computer, download the IPSW from the developer site and just kind of wipe it over just to make sure you're on the real release. Because I know they say that they give you the numbers, but
yeah, it's good reason to have a clean install.
Exactly.
Did you install, Brian? You any thoughts?
15.2, I did. And the only thing I noticed is that preparing updates still takes about half an hour.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's really, I know SharePlay's in it. I'm sure Holden and I will try it out. Did during the beta period. Didn't work too well.
No, it worked great for me. In fact, I actually did a demo on an Apple user group, and I was able to have two phones go. I got to get that video edited. I'll be posted on our feed here soon. That actually demonstrated how sharing your screen works in SharePlay for tech support for your family. So you
can still do it in messages, though, right?
Yeah, you can too. Yep.
Okay. Oh, so you mean you can actually share your screen in SharePlay on your iPad or your iPhone?
Both.
Oh, really? Okay. All right.
Yep.
That's interesting.
Using FaceTime, of course.
Actually, Holden, we did try that. Remember? That actually worked, but I think it was watching the video actually didn't work.
Yeah, I can't remember why it didn't work. It was like the app we were using or something that didn't support it yet, I think. I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't know.
So just to go through briefly what's out there in this, the app privacy report, that's big. It's now you're going to be able to go and review all your apps to see what they're looking for you.
Scare the hell out of you. Is what it'll do.
It will. Emergency SOS is on it now, where you can. It lets you call emergency services with a series of button presses that had been updated to 15.2. You can now press the side button repeatedly and multiple times to initiate, or hold down the side button and the volume button together if you prefer. So be careful. Don't be doing that unless it's an emergency. We mentioned we've talked about the Apple Music voice plan a bunch of times in the last couple episodes here. It's $5 a month, and it only works with Siri. Very limited what you can do. You can't add to playlists. So it's somebody who just wants to listen to music and just tell Siri what they want to listen to. So it's not for many people. And I think people got confused too, really. They thought, I got to pay another extra $5 for Apple Music. No, that stays the same. $10 for individual, $14.99 for family plan. The legacy contacts was a good thing. Thing they added to set a trusted person in and giving you the ability to access your Apple ID and your data or your digital legacy.
Still not sold on that yet.
No,
Google's had it for a long time.
Yeah, I know. I'm debating it whether I should set it up or not. I'm
going to. I'll give the access to Holden. So
Yeah, I was gonna say, does anyone want to tell me now, Dad, before it?
no, I'm leaving it as a surprise. When I drop dead and you get into my phone, you're gonna be like, "Wow."
We'll be on iPhone 32 by that time, right?
Yeah.
They need to come up like with a feature for the Apple Watch when you're like about to die. There's a button that will delete all the stuff you don't want them to see.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's a panic button.
Yeah.
Delete porn.
So that's a good thing they added. The Find My battery reserve feature, when the Find My app can now be used to locate on iPhone for up to 5 hours in power reserve, a feature that's activated when the iPhone is dead.
Awesome.
And when the iPhone's turned off too, it also stays active to be able to find the Find My will work. Here's
Until the battery dies for real, but yeah.
Yeah, the TV app has added a new design on the iPad, makes navigation much simpler. So they did improve that. That was kind of a nuisance. For iPhone users, the Store tab on the TV app is now available for accessing the movies, which is good. Hide My email in the Mail app is now enabled, so you can add your Hide My account in there and send from that account very easily. They've added that too. And then the whole big uproar of the display repair restrictions changes on the iPhone 13 when people were, which I can't believe people are getting screens that new already when 13 hasn't been out, 6 months, it was saying that you had to replace that resync that microcontroller that Apple has controls over. Well, they changed that finally. And of course, we've talked about this a number of times. The communication safety it's in place and it's enabled for children in messages, saying it's scanning incoming messages on children's devices for any nudity and such. The warn on this is not maybe harmful. And they did now put in a control on the macro for the 13 Pro that you can toggle off the macro control because you weren't able to do that before, which is a good thing. And many other things, iCloud Privately Relay, reminders and notes and apps can now be bulk renamed and deleted in the reminders, notes, and apps. The CarPlay and Apple Maps have gained enhancements in enhanced detail in iOS 15, but only in cities where the new maps are currently supported, so buyer beware when it comes to that. Of course, lots of bug fixes, and they're definitely worth going out and downloading it. It's ready to rock. There was a couple other things that were also mentioned as well. It is easier to now reset your device, a locked device, on if your device happens to be locked or security locked. Apple introduced an ability for you to be able to reset and erase the locked iPhone or iPad without the need of connecting a Mac or a Windows PC. There's a support article, and I've got this link in the show notes on this as well, which is cool because it might be sometimes the phone got locked, and then you can go back and reactivate it. But I don't know if this is a security risk. I mean, seems kind of fishy. I would be a little worried if someone stole your phone and then they can go in and reset it. I mean, it looks like it had one caveat it's saying is that under the new method in 15.2, the device must already have had an active Wi-Fi or cellular connection before it is locked out. So, like if someone steals it and it may not work. So they've got some prevention, but this freeze. I mean, so many people have had to deal with this, and not be something that's very easy to deal with. Other devices that got upgraded, of course, iPad OS 15.2, nothing, pretty much all the same stuff I just talked about. HomePod has now the 15.2 software that was released for the HomePod and the HomePod Mini, which is going to add the voice plan support. So now you can use your HomePod to actually use Siri to make your music here. WatchOS 8.2 for Apple Watch was released. You have another the privacy report plan, and the voice plan is now included with that. And tvOS, there's nothing to really talk about in tvOS. It's updated. And we got some more details as far as the app privacy report and the legacy contacts as we talked about. So go out, update it. It's ready to rock. We've been running it since it came out on this Monday past as we record this, and definitely worth checking out. A couple other things here. Apple's Fitness Plus and Apple's AirPods Max Pro Max are now 1 year old. They came out a year ago as we recorded this, and Apple Fitness Plus is really grown. They've gone a lot of things. I don't know. Have you guys at all been using Apple's Fitness Plus? I know you haven't much, Warren, nor have I.
Can't you tell?
Yeah,
I was going to say, Dave, you're asking the wrong people.
Yeah. So I don't. Do you guys even subscribe to it? Do you have Fitness Plus, or do you play the bundle?
Yeah, it comes with the
bundle,
the Apple one. Yeah.
Yeah. I use it for the meditations. I think meditations are actually really nice.
Yeah. And they had that the last the walking tour with Prince William, I think was the last one. I think was kind of funny, and had Dolly Parton and a few other celebrities.
Guess that's what I want to do. Is walk
Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen to, yeah, I know.
Talk about not the target audience, right?
Yeah.
So interesting to see. I think it's evolving pretty well. I don't think Peloton's been too happy. Although after that Sex and the City show last week.
Wow.
Well, there's a twist. There's a twist. Did you hear?
Yeah, they did a commercial to rebut.
Well, no. After that, today.
Oh, really?
Breaking news. Mr. Big, Chris North. Two women came forward to accuse him of bad stuff. Peloton pulled the ad that they did. Peloton and what's his name? The guy who did it, the Canadian, good-looking guy. Anyways, Ryan Reynolds did a spoof.
Oh, Ryan Reynolds. He did a spoof. Right?
He did a spoof of the commercial Peloton, who approved it, and it was going viral. They pulled that too. So I told my wife today, I'm like, we're talking about it. I'm like, well, at least now all the women who are very upset that he died last week are very happy now. So,
yeah.
Wow. Mr. Big.
Breaking news.
I mean,
anyway,
and we won't get too much into it, but two women came forward. He denies it.
Of course.
Let's see where it goes. I mean, it's
horrible. Won't be discussed here.
It's horrible just to jump on the bandwagon, but let's see where it goes.
Let's talk about this the whole time. You see Dave looks so comfortable.
No, I don't think anybody here would be really too interested about it.
See where Sex and the City goes from here, because I
know the segue into CSAM stuff.
No,
I'm not even doing that one because that will get me off. But real fast, when people thought they weren't doing it last week, I'm like biting my tongue. I'm like, there's no way they're not doing this, because I mean, just the high level thing is Tim Cook spoke to a whole group of organizations for these people and probably made a promise to these people before it happened. So, I mean, it's not happening. They're doing it. So that's all I got to say about that.
The other item that's a year old is the AirPods Max. And I know, Brian, you have a pair of those AirPods Max.
They grow up so fast. Can't believe it a whole year.
How do you like them after
I love them.
Are they AirPod Mega Max now after?
I love them. I'm not the kind of guy that goes walking around the neighborhood or the mall with them. You know what I mean? I mostly use them for writing, to kind of zone out, or I'll use them just, to kind of block stuff out. So, usually sitting in a chair. So, but I love them. They're really comfortable. They sound great. So no complaints.
They're finally we're finally starting to see some retailers discounting it because it's pricey. $500.
Oh my God, they're really
$599.
Yeah, I didn't.
It does come with a bra. So
I hate that thing though.
I think it's like $450 this week. I saw.
I've seen them as low as $400 in some places. Yeah, so
I've come close. I've almost hit that buy button on it, but yeah.
Even at $400, they're so expensive.
It's
a lot.
So the guy who just bought an M1 Pro and an iPhone 13 Pro in 1 week.
I have the Sony over your headphones that I was canceling ones.
Those are really nice too.
They're very nice. They're just made out of plastic, but they do pretty much everything that the AirPods Max do, except for the whole transferring across devices.
And I got mine for about what you paid for those, and I was going to get the Sony ones. But when I had a chance to get the the Maxes, I thought, oh, let me get that instead.
How'd you get that for $300? What's your secret?
It's a secret, Warren. I can't.
You'd have to kill you.
I went into a store with a gun in my no. I had a discount at Best Buy. I had like reward points, and then I had some so
it's worth it.
You know the tricks, Warren. You do it all the time.
Oh yeah, no, the Best Buy rewards have been good to me, but I know I worry. They got into a whole thing where the loss list, and they say maybe it doesn't do the loss list and the high quality, like because they're Bluetooth, but they're wireless. So it's like if you
can wire them.
Well, I thought you can or cannot, but you can. But
you can with this.
But then Apple say it still doesn't make it true.
It's not true wireless because you can't get lossless audio from it on wireless, right? Don't you?
I have no idea.
There's a whole thing about
lossless file, but you won't get the full quality.
You don't get to, and again, I'm talking like I care about the quality as much, and I really don't. So I like my AirPods Pro; they're nice and easy for me. But the maybe they'll come down even more, and I'll do it.
It will, I think, eventually.
Yeah, I'm good. I still have the old Beats Pro headphones I got for free a number of years ago. It still sits in there, and probably should just sell them. I don't even use them. But of course, I got my old trusty Bose QC35s, which are quite sweet. I don't use those enough either. So I got all these headphones. I own this. These are the ones I use all the time. AirPods Pro, at least for podcasts. So
when I was doing reviews for people, somebody sent me Audis. I don't know if you heard them, but they're so they sent me Audis. I think like $300 or $400 headphones, and I still have them. I was just playing with them, but they were doing spatial audio sort of before. They call it 3D audio, and it was sort of the same kind of thing where if you moved your head, it was more for gaming, but it's the same concept. So
disorienting.
Yeah, pretty much.
But so go run out and grab a pair if you so choose. But it's gonna take a little dig into your pocketbook or your wallet. So
grab three.
Speaking of Holden, you just got a new iPhone 13. That's what I heard, and of course a new MacBook Pro. And which iPhone 13 did you get?
13 Pro Sierra Blue, 256 gigabytes.
Nice.
And I think it's perfect. I think for what I use it for, it couldn't get any better. Because I was coming from a 10R, and that's a huge jump.
I'm using the 10R as my camera right here.
Yeah. The camera.
Dave says I'm using your old phone as my camera.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm wiping. Hey, hold on. I'm wiping my butt with my 10R right now.
Exactly.
Sorry.
Wow. Still does good video though, so it definitely still works for that kind of stuff. So definitely, it's a good use for it.
No, it's still a good phone.
It's a good phone.
I mean, my wife just upgraded to I finally talked her into getting I got her an iPhone 13, which I thought is more than sufficient. Like your wife, I think you got the same one, right? The 13 for her, or Warren?
I did, yeah. I finally convinced her. She went from a 10S.
She went from 11. So she had 11 Pro.
Mine did.
My wife.
Yeah. So, I mean, our lives are better now because we don't have to look at these old phones from our wives. But my wife was a whole thing. She wasn't going to upgrade her phone because they didn't have the same case for her.
Well, she wasn't happy about the same case either because of the pop sockets. They love pop sockets.
Same thing. The exact same thing. It was old
pop sockets.
We had this whole pop socket issue where like her 10S had this outer box case that had a pop socket that was, kind of didn't pop out so much so it could mount easily. So we couldn't find that. So yeah, we talked about last week. We finally came up with a solution, which is basically the mag wallet. And it's basically
the mag wallet pop socket, right?
Pops off, kind of. And you got your socket there. So crisis averted. Got her to 13, and just like Dave did. So
yep.
But women, man.
Still waiting for the pop socket because I bought her the cheap case. I'm sorry, I still want to ask Holden. So what's really standing out on the 13 Pro for you so far?
I thought ProMotion would be the main thing. It stood out to me when I was going into it, and it definitely does. But the battery life is out of this world.
Not as good as my 12 mini. Not even close.
Yeah, it is.
The hour battery I get out of this thing is just can't be matched.
I don't think I could get it out in a day. It's at that iPad level of battery where I'm never going to think about it. I'm just going to use the device throughout the day, and then I'll charge it at night, and that's the end of the story. Like, it's just that good. And that's nice. It's a nice feeling to have when using your phone.
My wife
Absolutely.
said, that's what my wife said. Mostly she notices battery.
Yeah.
The difference in battery between her two. And
Yeah.
and Holden, good news. Not Holden, Brian, good news for you is you have a mini. You said it's 12 mini.
I have a 12 mini. Yeah.
You could get so many. Every deal page I go to has 12 mini cases for like free. They can't sell these things, so there's like a surplus of 12 mini cases.
Oh,
like
I'm sure.
You get the Apple one for like $5. It's like a fire sale.
So if you need a backup.
Yeah, I got my wife a 13, and she still had an 8 plus. And so she gave it to me, and I might use it as a second phone, but I found the orange Apple leather case on eBay for $5.
Yeah.
Brand new in the box.
Wow.
For the
Can't
8.
give them away.
Yeah. But
Because when I had an iPhone 7, I had this case and I loved it. And I didn't want to give the phone up because I love the case. So
is there a 13 mini? No, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
there is, yeah.
Does the
Rumored
case
to be the last year of the mini phones,
The cases
though.
don't fit.
is the same with the 13?
Just like the 12 and the 13. Yeah, it's just a smidge off.
Different, different case.
And you also, you might as well talk about your MacBook Pro. You got that too, right?
Yeah, I was a little late to this because I was having to set it up because the setup process was actually a total nightmare. But it's working
We'll just
now.
get a Dell.
So I don't really have too much to say about it yet, other than coming from a 2017 15-inch MacBook Pro, the keyboard is phenomenal.
We've got both Brian and I have it for work, and I don't even want to use it I don't even want to use my Windows machine anymore.
Yeah, I don't. I remote into it when I need it, but I use my MacBook Pro for everything at work. It's amazing.
Yeah.
The battery life is too, is I can work off battery
yeah.
all day in endless Teams meetings and still have plenty of battery left at the end of the day. It's ridiculous.
Are you guys on the 14-inch?
Yeah.
We all have one now. That's
You have one. Right.
pretty amazing.
But you have one for personal use, though. We have to use it for work.
Yeah.
I use
I
it
don't
for
know
my
if that's
work.
the good thing or bad thing, but yes. I have it.
It's kind of a waste having to use it for work, but if you got to work, at least you're working in style, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Did you put parallels on there? I put parallels, and Dave did it too, and put the Windows ARM 11 version on there.
How is it?
It's good. I was just playing with it.
Should I
today.
try it on my M1, my home computer?
On the M1, it was a little bit wood. So I put it on. I have a M1 Mini that I'm on right now with 8 gig of memory, and I had on there, and it was okay, but it's better on the 14-inch. It's faster.
I would imagine it would be.
So our base, I got the base 14, which was fine, which was a 16500 machine, and it's again plenty fast, and the machine itself is fast, and parallels it's good too. I mean, I don't know what to do with the Windows install I have other than look at it and update it.
Yeah, it's not very usable.
Well, I don't know. I put a few programs on there, but I think it'll run almost anything in emulation at this point. So you get the watermark and the whole thing like that, but it's something.
Absolutely. All right. Let me go jump into some tips here and a couple apps I wanted to review here that have made some updates. The large iPhone. How do you make it more comfortable using it one-handed? Did you ever use your iPhone 13 Pro Max like I have, Warren, to try to use it one-handed?
Well, let me tell you. No. Obviously all the time. In bed when I'm playing games and trying to do something, it's sometimes hard. And yes, I'm assuming you're doing the screen down trick thing.
Well, you have that. And this is our link to an article here on 9 to 5 Mac here. the author said that he has some frustrations with the 13 Pro Max not being able to one-hand it, because both, of course, you, Brian and Holden, both have a smaller size phone, so that isn't much of a problem for you. So you can do things like enabling display zoom. So if you wanted to go and make changes to that, you can go into launching settings, to select display and brightness, scroll down to display zoom, tap view, and then select zoomed, and your iPhone will respring into its new mode, so it'll be zoomed in there. What you also could do too is do the back tap shortcuts. If we've talked about this tip before, where you can go in accessibility and being able to turn on the tap touch on the back of the iPhone. Any iPhone can do that, of the 13s.
Not one with a pop socket on it.
No, if you don't have a pop socket, you can't do it. And then you can choose your trigger actions in there, and you could put going back as far as being able to trigger actions of whatever you use commonly with the back tap. I've found Holden, you guys, have you used the back tap accessibility feature at all?
I was actually going to try to find it because I thought it'd be really convenient to have double tap to get to control center and triple tap to get to notification center, so I don't have to reach up. Because those are the only things, even on the normal 13, I have to reach up to get. So I thought those would be good shortcuts, but I haven't done it yet.
There's a back tap and a double tap, so no triple tap in the back on the accessibility. Other thing you could do is
double tap, triple tap. Is that not only in the back?
I don't think there's on the using the back tap.
Oh,
I think it's. Oh, I'm sorry. You're right. My apologies. You're right. There's a double and triple. Right. Do. And you could set those to all kinds of different system settings, and like you said, control center be one of them. I had done it for a screenshot, and I kept doing it. And I said I have to turn this off. Other things you can do in accessibility is you can use assistive touch. That allows you to customize the way you use your iPhone, and you can go into launch settings, select accessibility, tap touch, and then tap assistive touch, and then turn on assistive touch, and then you can choose your different customized options that give you some, accessibility. They did add that feature in the Apple Watch, and I was playing with it a little bit, but they just added that in WatchOS 15.8.3 as well as 15.2, for it to work. So I want to see how easy it is to use the assistive touch instead of the normal, what we're used to, clicking the stem in the mode button. So you have that as well.
Or you get a smaller phone, like a 12 mini.
Yeah, well. You also could take advantage of that one-handed keyboard, which I don't like. I know you can switch to that one-handed keyboard that has an option too. So some good tips here as far as if you have the larger iPhone, and this should apply to the 12 Pro Max as well as 13 Pro Max, and anything that runs on 15.2 will give you some help along the way. But I've had like Warren and we've both had the larger size phones for quite a while. So
once you go max, you don't go back.
Exactly. I can go as far as back as the 6. Yeah, the 6 Plus.
I think that's what I did it too. Yeah,
that's when that was the first large model. I've had that one since. So,
and my eyes get worse every year. So hopefully next year they make even a bigger one. So,
yeah. So a couple apps I want to go. I'm probably going to wrap up here a little early this time here. Readdle Scanner Pro for the iPhone. That's one of my favorite scanner apps that are out there for scanning documents. And Readdle makes some great stuff. Their PDF file app and many others. And what they did is they added a new feature called the Magic Eraser. It's an AI-powered tool that lets you get rid of stains, marks, and even those pesky fingers on your scans. It's like a magic wand giving you availability to enhance any scan. I have not tried it yet. This actually just got released within a day since we recorded this. So it is a free update if you're currently own the app. But check that out. I think it's That's a really cool app, and I've always enjoyed using it. Do any of you guys use this app at all?
Yeah.
No, I normally just scan through the Notes app, but when I
But
have to, which isn't very often, but it is a good app. I know other people who use it.
Genius Scan. I use Genius Scan.
Okay. And then finally, we've got Pixelmator. Pixelmator now has their photo app, which is the enhanced version of the Pixelmator photo app that was on the Mac for all those years. They announced this as we record this. Today, it is now available on the iPhone. It was only previously limited just to the iPad. The photo editing app has over 30 desktop class color adjustment options, support for over RAW formats, and including the Apple Pro RAW format, and integration with the Photos app, iCloud Photos, and many AI editing tools. So it does have a lot of great features, and there's so many other photo apps out there. Hey, why you spend all that money on Adobe Photoshop when you can be using something like Pixelmator? Honestly,
Yeah.
I have the Mac version as well. Even Affinity Photo is another one that you got two great alternative apps that you don't have to spend all that dough on Photoshop and still get pretty much everything you want to use. Cost is $3.99. There's a special deal right now on the special launch. I thought it was supposed to be free. I downloaded it. I got charged for it. I'm going to kind of look into that because I had the old there was a Pixelmator, or the original Pixelmator app before. So I'm not sure why it didn't. I had to pay for it, but we'll find out. And
got to support the developers, Dave.
Got to complain. No, $4. I guess I won't worry about it. It wasn't that much money.
It's worth it.
What do you guys think of this the ProRes format? Holden, you think it's something you're going to use with your iPhone coming? I've tried a little bit.
Probably not, just because if I take a video, it just for something like to remember a memory. I'm not going to record video on my phone for anything professional. But it's definitely a nice feature for people who want to have access to it. I probably won't touch it.
Okay. And Brian, have you used Pixelmator before?
Yeah, I've used I've used it since the beginning. I've had the Mac version for a long time, and the greatest thing about it for me, and what I use the most, especially in the Mac version, is the ML Super Resolution feature. Because I have a lot of I've been using a Mac for a really long time, and I have some desktop pictures that I really love, pre-Retina. Some of them even go back to the late 90s. And I just pop them in there and I run that ML Super Resolution on it, and it makes them look like not pixelated.
Yeah.
It looks real. They look really good. So
good stuff. All right. Let's, well, Christmas is upon us here, and we're going to be taking Christmas week off. So we'll have a week off to enjoy with our families, and appreciate everybody being here. Appreciate you guys being here. Let's go ahead and wrap things up for this week. That is a wrap for this week. Please send your comments, questions, and suggestions to our email address, feedback@intouchwithios.com. You can follow us on Twitter @intouchwithios. We usually live stream this show on Thursday nights at 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific on our YouTube channel, which is at youtube.com/DaveG65, where you can also find past streams and listen to all the past episodes. And you can visit our In Touch with iOS magazine on Flipboard, which is linked in the show notes, where you can find many of the topics that we discuss are pinned there and flipped in Flipboard. So check that out. You can subscribe to your favorite podcatcher, including Apple Podcasts, many others. But better yet, go to our website at intouchwithios.com, where all the links to all the ways to listen to us are there. I am Dave Ginsburg, and you can find me on Twitter at DaveG65. And Brian, thanks for being here. Where can everybody find you?
Here. I don't really do social media all that much. I have so yeah, find me here.
Well, I got your link to your Twitter account, so if anybody wants to get a hold of you, they can find you.
They certainly can.
You might get a note. You may not.
There you go.
Holden, thanks for being here to tell us about where they can find you as well, including your podcast.
Yeah, I'm on Twitter at Holden DePardo. I don't really post too much there. Occasionally I will, but I'm on an Apple podcast called the Networks Podcast. So you can find me there if you want to.
Excellent. Warren? where can they find you?
Yeah, hanging out with Brian, I guess. Mac to the Future Facebook group. If you're into Facebook, it's a fun place to go. We suggest that you just go there and nowhere else on Facebook. That's our motto. Other than that, we do this show on Thursdays, and we did get a show in with Chuck. When the wife travels, I get the podcast more. So there you go.
Mac Voices Live with Chuck Joyner, and we always have a blast on Tuesday nights.
Yep.
Well, thanks for being here. And I guess, like I said, program note, we will be taking the Christmas holiday off, so there will be no show. But we'll be back the weekend of New Year's and have another fun-filled show. Until then, appreciate everybody listening, and we'll talk again soon.